Hey everybody, it's Subby. I'm awake. I am awake. Just getting some social media stuff caught up here. Relaying to some meteorologists up in Pleasant Hill. So welcome everybody. We do have a special weather statement right now. It is out for parts of Cass County, that's Belton and Raymore, Hare, and Pleasant Hill. So that's for this storm, the cell right here. It's moving off to the east fairly quickly. But as these storms continue to push to the east, they are getting stronger. So actually one of the latest messages about 3 minutes ago, National Weather Service has talked about how it is becoming increasingly hostile to severe weather the further east the storms go. So as this line of storms pushes into that warm, moist air that we have here in west central Missouri, the greater likelihood we are to get some stronger storms. I am surprised we are not under a watch at the present time, but the latest mesoscale discussion from the Storm Prediction Center has just, it ended at 11:45 their current their current mesoscale discussion ended at 11:45, so I'm waiting for an update on that. As I do believe as these storms push off to the east, we and especially the environment that we're in right now, we very well could see a watch issued very soon for most of our area. But it's a waiting game. I don't decide that. The National Weather Service will. So we do have a little cell coming across Clinton right now in Henry County. A little bitty cell, but as you can tell, my lightning detector, which is my dog, is definitely letting you know that it's thundering outside. So I do have National Weather Service chat up over here. I've got the Storm Prediction Center up. And I will be monitoring chat as well. Hi, Sally and Courtney. Lucky. My gosh, Lucky, it's past your bedtime, buddy. Hey, Derek. Good to see you, buddy. All right, so we do have a new severe thunderstorm warning out for Cass County right now. So these storms are intensifying very rapidly. Okay, so this is going to be heading very quickly into Belton, Raymore, Grandview, Martin City, and eventually over into Pleasant Hill. Peculiar. Looked like it might stay just to the north of Harrisonville. So my software is about 30 seconds lagging so far. So that is part of our new software. Several people kind of put the stream up on their TV and they mute it and they kind of wait for the storms. And this program will kick in when there is a tornado or severe thunderstorm warning. And then that will maybe catch their attention to turn up the volume on their TV set. So that's actually another program we've integrated here in our live stream. So again, we've got severe thunderstorm warning for Cass County, just north of Harrisonville. Does not include Harrisonville, but Raymore, Peculiar, Belton, Pleasant Hill. You guys are all in the path of this fast storm, actually. 1 inch hail, 60 mile per hour winds, and it expires in 29 minutes. This thing is actually moving at a pretty good clip, 35 miles per hour. So definitely something we want to keep an eye on. No, M8, this is not the main storm in Clinton right now. This was just one little pop-up little shower that had a little lightning and thunder with it. So one thing that they are talking about, these things are really gunnering up a lot of moisture. Several areas, just with a couple cells that have come across them in Kansas City, already 1.25 inches of rainfall. These things are going to be monster rain producers as they come through. So we're definitely keeping an eye. This cell in Ottawa, as it crosses the state line, we may see that intensify here in the next, probably about 30 minutes. We'll do a storm track on that here in a moment. These storms are seem to intensifying as they get over here close to the state line. A little bit further north, Smithville, Platte City, if you guys are watching, just some garden variety thunderstorms, a little bit of hail. Nothing severe up there, and actually we're not even under a watch yet, so not 100% sure why we're not under a watch right now. But, and again, that's not my call. So you guys bear with me a second. I'm going to grab me a cup of coffee. Hey, Bushwhacker. North of Creighton is fine right now. Probably here in the next 45 minutes or so, we're going to be watching this line of very intense storms come across most of west central Missouri. This one here, this cell coming through Belton right now is really starting to pick up a lot in intensity with the hail core. So look like we've got a big hail core here in between. Oh goodness, what is that? Way and Aubrey. So a couple rural towns that's going to be coming across here into Cass County. And of course, as this cell gets closer to Pleasant Hill, that is where the radar tower is. We start to see a lot of propagation in which a lot of distortion with the radar feed because it gets so close to the radar. So this thing continues to strengthen. I might have to maybe try to pull it maybe from the Topeka radar site to get a decent look on this cell. Here's this little one that is just north of Clinton right now, and again, this is just a pop-up thunderstorm. Nothing severe with it, but it was noisy a little bit ago. Yeah, I know, Chuck. I thought I was getting up at midnight, and actually I got up before the warnings went off, so that was good. Yeah, it's 12:20 right now, Jordan. So we've got a pretty healthy line of storms stretching from St. Joe all the way down to Emporia, Kansas, moving east. So yeah, we're gonna be on here for at least a good couple 3 hours. So yeah, it's going to be kind of come and go. But as these storms kind of make their way closer to the state line, they're going to start getting into a little bit more of the moisture. I got 74 degree. Yeah, I got 74 degree dew point right now. And actually, my temperature went up a degree. It was 75, now it's 76. So we're getting those southeast breezes coming up that feeding these thunderstorms, and they're just going to get a little stronger. And we do have another severe thunderstorm warning out for that Ottawa cell. This is the one that we're going to be watching as we get closer to the state line. Man, there's some big hail here, guys. Big hail. We're up to 1.5 inch hail that will be coming across the state line. Really making a beeline for near Peculiar. Put that in 3D mode here real quick and see exactly where that hail core is at. Wow, those are some high tops. We're going to scroll down here. We're going to see. Looks like, yeah, it's right in between Way and Aubrey right now. Is where that ping pong ball size hail is showing up at right now. Take a look at all these cloud tops. That's very high top clouds. We're approaching probably 40 to 50,000 feet tall. There's that little cell that come over Clinton right there. So that's a nice little healthy thunderstorm come across Clinton right there. At least right now, it looks like you might stay just to the north of the biggest hail core. This thing is producing some monster hail right now. And it's really kind of making a beeline near, I'm going to butcher some of these names, Jordan, Riverview Estates, and possibly Peculiar. We could have a couple MH. We could have a few. We could have a few of those. Let's see here. Let's see if we can find a good storm track. Give me 1 second here. Let me jump over here. So 40, 20, so we'll go about 40 miles per hour. Okay, so we do have 3-inch hail now with that cell in Cass County. That's a monster hail, guys. Oh, for crying out loud. Okay, so it looks like about We've got Ballard in 93 minutes, Creighton in 96 minutes, Urick in 103 minutes, New Piper 104, Holden 103, Hartwell 109. There we go, that's a little better. So let's go back up here. So let's go Harrisonville 136, Adrian 139, Eastland 147, Garden City 150, Creighton 202, Blairstown 212, Delmar 216. So probably about the same time frame, MH. Probably somewhere right around the 2 to 3 o'clock time frame. We're going to take another look at this cell here. So we've got, this is the one that is heading kind of in between Peculiar and Belton. We have a maximum held size of 3.25 inch. 90% chance there's severe hail falling right now. And it is does have a meso of 4, which means it is a mesocyclone. It is rotating up at the upper levels. So we're going to kind of keep a close eye on this cell. Of course, it is going to be rotating some because it has to have those strong updrafts, remember, to support those big hailstones. So that's what we're looking at right here. That is the rotation. Green colors going toward radar, red colors going away from radar. That's where we want to be watching for some real tight circulation. 2 of those colors right next to each other. That's what we look for a little spin up. But right now it's looking like the rotation is up in the mid levels, not closer to the ground. Okay, so they are continuing the severe thunderstorm warning. Definitely kind of keeping an eye on this little notch. The only thing that's a little concerning is we've got all these southeast winds. They're pumping up into this storm. And that's why we're really kind of watching for the potential of seeing any kind of spin up. But regardless, we got 2-inch hail at least right now that is going to be coming across 7 highway. I'm sorry, that's 49 highway in between Peculiar and Belton. So it's moving off kind of to the east, northeast. So hopefully maybe it just stays in between Belton and Peculiar from the towns anyway. Lake Winnebago? No. they're gonna get hit with this cluster up here that has a special weather statement on it, Angie. But right now, I think it's gonna stay just to the south of them. At least the biggest hail core right now. The concerning part of the storm's right here. So we look up here. Overland Park is getting a heavy thunderstorm right now. Lee Summit, Blue Springs, Oak Grove. You're gonna be in this cell right here. It is not warned, but some torrential rainfalls. Maybe up to an inch of rain with this particular cell right here. So we're watching. We have one storm right now in west central Missouri we're keeping a close eye on. This thing is putting down some monster hail, and it's just to the west of Peculiar right now. It's going to be affecting at least parts of Peculiar. So if anybody knows anybody in Peculiar, along Interstate 49 up to Riverview Estates, Harrelson, yeah, make sure they're staying away from windows, because you get a 50-mile-an-hour gust and ping pong ball to tennis ball size hail. That's going to be dangerous. My lightning detector. I don't think there's any lightning going on right now. Maybe. All right, nothing new from the National Weather Service. Some pretty gusty winds up here, Belton Raymore area. It's going to be moving in here just any minute and along Interstate 49. Hi, Elizabeth. I know, Christina. I know. You know, we kind of joked around when I went live earlier. As soon as I got home tonight, we were kind of laughing about how a lot of people come into where I work. I see a lot of farmers, a lot of guys. They're very appreciative of what we do here at Subby's Weather Talk. But they said, you know, Subby, I'm getting really tired of waking up in the middle of the night hearing your voice. So I think it's the same sentiment all the way around. We have that storm fatigue. We've had such an active storm season. Okay, so portions of Harrisonville, the northern portion of Harrisonville, might get clipped with some of this golf ball, if not a little bit larger hailstone. This thing is starting to kind of pick up intensity again right before coming into Peculiar. Yeah, we're back up to 3-inch possible hail. 3-inch, 100% hail is ongoing right now just to the west of Peculiar. 80% chance that it is quarter size or larger, with the maximum stones of being 3-inch. So very intense storm that may clip the northern part of Harrisonville. So if you're on from Harrisonville, Might be a good time to bring the vehicles in. Oh, that's awesome. Shelby, having your mom in Georgia watching with us. That's great. I tell you what, I'm as far as that being a part of TourCon, get with me here the next few days, and I can give you a link for her so that you and her can watch the weather going on in Georgia through our TourCon group, which is coast to coast. Been a member for about a year and a half. I'm a senior forecaster there for TourCon. So that'd be kind of cool. You guys can watch out for each other. Alright, so I'm going to bring this back. Let's kind of blow this thing out here just a little bit here so you guys kind of see what's going on. So as these storms are kind of congealing into a cluster of storms, there are several broken cells in that area that we need to be watching for. Well, we must have another severe thunderstorm warning. Okay, yep. So this one here, guys, is going to be it's going to be for Cass County. It's going to include Harrisonville. This thing is kind of turning a little bit to the southeast as it's going to the east. So they went ahead and included Harrisonville, Garden City, Long 7 Highway. That's going to include the towns of East Lynn, Gun City, all of Harrisonville, 1.75 inch golf ball size hail, 60 miles per hour winds with a damage threat assessment of considerable. Let's read what it says. This is going to be for central Cass County. Severe thunderstorm located over Lake Annette or near Peculiar, moving east at 40. Golf ball size hail and 60 mile per hour winds. Harrisonville, Peculiar, Garden City, Freeman, East Lynn, Lake Annette, and Gun City are all in the path of this cell. So we now have 2 independent severe thunderstorm warnings. We have a north one and we have a south one. We have a couple little cells. These are the ones that went by Clinton. They're not severe, but there's going to be some lightning and thunder with these. So down just southwest of Lincoln, north of Leesville, right near Calhoun right now, you guys are getting some lightning thunder. It's not severe, so don't think these are the storms that are coming. We have many more behind it. You're up in Independence. Well, we're not under a watch right now. We're not under a watch, but there's going to be some pretty intense storms up there, Landon. In Independence, we've got several rounds of strong thunderstorms that are likely not going to just dissipate. They're moving into some pretty thick air over here that's going to help fuel these storms. So, kind of keep weather aware. Hopefully you got a weather radio. I'm just going to keep that on that cell just to the south of Harrisonville. I'd like to keep an eye on this little area right here. And again, still some very large hail coming across Peculiar, south of Peculiar. Looked like down around, let's see what that is. East 233rd Street, 243rd Street, and along, let's see here, that is Bears Den Road. Bears Den Road. Alright, so as I was saying just moments ago, this line, there's broken lines of storms all along from St. Joe all the way down to near Ottawa. We are not under a watch right now, a severe thunderstorm watch. A little bit surprised we're not under one right now. Matter of fact, it does not look like right now we're not even in a discussion of a severe thunderstorm watch right now. So now some of these are going to start likely diving more to the south. Remember, even though the whole line is moving to the southeast, some of these cells will begin to kind of move and kind of turn toward the warm moist air, and they end up kind of being like right turners, and you'll kind of see them kind of move to the south, and then they kind of start dropping a little bit further south. So some of these storms up here on the north side don't seem near as impressive as some of the storms over here on the south side. So the conditions are definitely favorable over here in west central Missouri, with dew points at 74 degrees, and we've got this lifting mechanism coming in. So we'll just have to kind of wait and see these starting to ramp up. But we'll just see how they do as they continue their eastward motion. Hi, Brianna. High winds and hail are the two primary components tonight. I'm not going to tell you that there is absolutely no chance of a tornado. There is a very, very small chance. It's not zero, but by and large, the most pressing part is going to be strong straight line winds and large hail, in which we definitely have seen that up here in Cass County, with up to 3.25 inch hail, tennis ball size or a little bit larger. So those are the main concerns tonight, Brianna. Hi, Tony. Well, I'm kind of keeping a close eye on St. Clair County tonight, mainly. Obviously, we want to keep everybody aware of any severe storms, but right down at H. Rowe Bartle Scout Reservation is hosting a ton of kiddos down there right now during this session of Scout Camp. So keeping a very close eye down there for them. We're probably still an hour or better before we start to get storms down here in St. Clair County. And again, main concern is going to be for strong straight line winds and large hail. This was a very unusually strong cell that's still ongoing here, basically right over Harrisonville. The hail core is down some. Let's take a look at that here. So hail is looking like it's down to right at an inch, maybe a little bit less than an inch right now, but it's been cycling a little bit. So we'll watch this cell and see if it strengthens anymore. So 12:47. So they just updated severe thunderstorm warning for Cass County. 1.25 inch and 60-mile-per-hour winds. You bet, Tony. Absolutely, Andrea. All right, let's take a look at a couple of these northern cells here. A pretty good little cell going through Gladstone, Claycomo. Kind of have a wild swirling wind right up here near Parkville and Riverside. If this was daytime and you were looking straight up at the clouds right now with this type of velocity signature, you're not going to see a tornado, but when you're looking up, you're going to see clouds swirling up there. So, I've noticed, I've heard a lot of you guys talk about, man, you look up and there's swirling winds, clouds going this way, clouds going that way. That's the kind of signature that you would expect to see there on the right side of your screen. You've just got a pocket of swirling winds in the mid-levels of the atmosphere where those clouds are. You're not going to be able to see it at nighttime, but that's what you would expect to see if this was daytime and you were able to look at those clouds. But do have a special weather statement up here for the block of storms up here northeast of Topeka, and again some strong storms from Overland Park all the way down through Osawatomie, Ottawa. So it's going to stretch all the way down here into just to the west of Fort Scott on 54. These storms will continue to move off to the east and to the south, eventually affecting those areas. Right now here in west central Missouri, we still have one strong storm in Cass County. We still have another 25 minutes left of this severe thunderstorm warning for Cass County. If it continues the trends that I'm seeing, it will likely maybe even expire a little bit early. It does look like it's lost pretty much all of its hail core right now, but nonetheless, torrential rains, guys. These things, the precipitable values on these thunderstorms are incredibly high tonight. So, already had some reports from 25, 30-minute cell come across parts of Kansas City, dropped over an inch of rain. So definitely some big time rain producers. Okay, Cheryl, I'll be here. You just had about 6 minutes of hail and peculiar, Kara. How big? Any size to it? Bucksaw's kind of in with the rest of us, so you're likely going to see, even a possibility of just a pop-up thunderstorm like we had in Clinton. Lightning, thunder, a little bit of rain, and then it's gone. these are not going to be severe. The stronger storms are going to be out here to the west. So we're definitely watching these cells here just like everybody else. You know, Bucksaw, we'll probably be looking at yet another hour to 2 hours before we're going to be affected here. So we jumped online a little bit early because there was a cell coming into Cass County, and it was a strong one, but it is weakening as we speak. We do have several issues of power outages. This is up in Johnson and Jackson County. We had ping pong ball size hail also in Johnson County. So, a few reports coming in with this cell. So again, if you guys are down here, say in Benton and say St. Clair County, if you guys are jumping on here, I'm going to be on for the duration. So if you guys are you guys want to take a couple hour nap, I'd say you probably will have plenty of time. This cell here is definitely weakening in Cass County. We still have 22 minutes left of that severe thunderstorm warning for 1 1/4 inch hail, which I'm not seeing too much evidence of that right now, but this could be cycling, as this particular cell has done 2 or 3 times over on the Kansas side so far. You bet, Rebecca. Over the last few days, did kind of give our streaming a little bit of a facelift. Got some programs that will help alert us during our live stream for any warnings. We also, hopefully you can kind of tell a little bit better clarity on our streams as well, as kind of bumped up the from the computer aspect of it, kind of bumped up some of the peripheral devices hooked into it as well. So hopefully you guys can see a little bit of a difference. So one thing I'm kind of watching out here, near Osawatomie, is how this cell is beginning to take a little bit of a bowing appearance, and also this little spin. I don't know if you guys, you look on the right hand side of your screen, you see how, let's slow it down a little bit. I can't even hardly watch it. So this is, and again, this is on the Kansas side, but just want you guys to take a look and kind of focus your attention right up here to the west of Osawatomie, and we'll go frame by frame. And right now you kind of see how the red and the green couplets are kind of together, and then you compare it to the regular radar and you got a little bit of inflow right there. And then on the next screen, take a look at that. Now we have a more well-defined little circulation. And then you kind of lose it. And then it starts to pick back up again. Right here. So these are the things that I try to pinpoint here in our area. And I'm telling you guys, a little spin up tornado might only have 80-mile-an-hour winds to it, and it might only last 10 seconds. But I know the National Weather Service is getting a lot of heat from some of these storms to the up in Oklahoma, and again up in Maryland, where they had no warning, no watch out, and a tornado happened. It wasn't on the ground long, but it did do some damage. But sometimes, especially when your radar is only refreshing once every couple minutes, in those 2 minutes, you could have a spin-up tornado, drop, do some damage, go back up before it even refreshes itself. So we can only go as fast as technology will allow us to, and sometimes people don't really understand that. But when you got 3 or 4 meteorologists watching over 42 counties, it's hard to do what I just done. Just looking at just a handful of counties, I can watch that really closely. But the National Weather Service, they do very good at what they do. They catch a lot of slack a lot of times. You bet, Phyllis. Glad to have you on here. Okay, so Kara reported here just a little bit ago about she had like 6 minutes of hail. So we just had a confirmed report of 2-inch hail covering the ground in Peculiar. So that's when that cell come across Peculiar and dropped 2-inch, which is about golf ball size, covered the ground. So certain areas of Peculiar got some very large hail here over the last 20 minutes. Still no chatter or anything over any kind of watch. So I'm assuming they're just going to let this kind of play out. Okay, so down around, say, Lacine, Amsterdam on the Missouri side, Merwin, Westline, Cleveland. You guys can expect to sit there and get this very robust thunderstorm that will be coming in, crossing over the state line here the next few minutes. And then eventually we'll probably see some of these cells continue to kind of fill and move into Bates County as well. But still kind of watching this cell over here near Osawatomie before it crosses across the state line there, because there's some funky looking shapes going on with this particular cell. So kind of keeping a close eye on that. We do have up to 1-inch hail again coming into Cass County across the state line north of Aubrey. It will be heading into Cass County, Belton, Raymore, and that area again. Now this particular cell might come closer to Lake Winnebago, as Andrew was wondering earlier, but very torrential rains from Gladstone, Casey Metro, down to Leawood, Hickman Mills, and then of course down Martin City, Stanley, a little bit of a hill core starting to show up there, and then of course down to actually straight down the state line. But these here are the little areas where we have to watch for some stronger winds, right at the little bowing segments. That's also something else that we watch very closely for any of these little bowing segments, for some strong straight line winds. Let's see here, Cordovan B. Well, glad to have you in here, buddy. If you have any questions, feel free to pop up. So, Um, National Weather Service did say the storm in Cass County is weakening, and they will let the severe thunderstorm expire. So then we'll be back into condition green. No severe thunderstorm warnings in our area, but I have a feeling we'll probably see a new one jump up here pretty quick. Right now, potential of seeing some 2-inch hail coming into Cass County and southern Jackson County. And this cell is moving east-northeast at 59 miles per hour. So these are the kind of cells that we definitely watch for strong straight line winds coming into Grandview, large hail, and we really have to watch this with this storm outpacing the line of storms, moving 59 miles per hour. There's a lot of wind shear going on. And that's where we really need to kind of watch for a little spin up, kind of like what we were kind of watching down in Osawatomie. Even though there was no confirmation, no tornado warning down there, but I'd say we're going to see some reports of some damage near Osawatomie, Kansas, because it does definitely look like there could have been a very brief spin up down there. Another 12 minutes left of the severe thunderstorm warning for Cass County. They are going to allow that to expire as the cell continues to weaken. And then, of course, we've got strong cell moving in Belton, Raymore area, Lee Summit, Hickman Mills, Grandview, along Interstate 49. 2-inch hail, maybe some strong winds. Watching this little notch right here for any circulation coming into Grandview right now. So they went ahead and canceled that severe thunderstorm warning early. So this one here for Cass County has now expired. It will probably be taken off of the map here really quick. There it goes. So just when I move the mouse, I have the magic ability to make these polygons disappear. So now we're watching this cluster of storms coming in again for northern Cass, which there could be another warning come out here for southern Jackson and northern Cass County. We'll watch it. And then, of course, this line of storms that extends down here that will be moving into Bates County, affecting Harrisonville, Archie, Adrian, Passaic, and Butler. Right now, it is not warned. Right now, just torrential rainfall, and looks like winds about 30 miles per hour with this right now. So nothing severe with any of these cells here right now in west central Missouri. We kind of blow this out just a little bit. We talked a little bit ago about these southern storms, even though they're not severe warned, but they do have some stronger winds associated with these southern storms on the Kansas side, and they will likely continue to push on more to the south than to the east toward that warmer, moist air. So outside of this little cell right up here in northern Cass, southern Jackson, behind it right now, we're just seeing some general thunderstorms. So let's hope it continues that same trend. If you guys watch my earlier broadcasts, we were a little bit concerned about the potential to see some outflow winds behind these little lines like this. And I can see some evidence of that. One of being right here on the back side of the cell here near Paola. And if you notice some of these lighter greens behind it, those are outflow winds pushing a wave on the back side of the storm, blowing to the north. Okay, this line of storms is kind of like the lungs of Mother Nature is what I tell the kids in my storm seminars in the school system. They're kind of like the lungs of Mother Nature. They breathe in and they've got to breathe out. And so sometimes these winds on the backside of these storms, like this right here, you can get winds 50, 60 miles per hour after the line of storm passes yet. So we're also watching for that as well. But this little line up here continues to strengthen from Lee Summit down through Belton and Raymore. Some moderate hail probably has fallen, probably penny size, if not a little bigger. And probably some pretty gusty winds right here. So, had a 1.5 inch hail reported, Cass County. Let's see here. That was at when that cell come across. That's right now, actually. That was at 106, so that was 2 minutes ago. 1.5 inch hail in Cass County. So if that was the case, it's very likely we'll see a new severe thunderstorm warning posted for 1 inch or larger hail for Cass County. So we have a few thunderstorms, like we talked about, that are out ahead of these lines. Benton County, probably a little noisy over there to the west of Colcamp. We have another one up here near Warrensburg, just to the west of Holden. We have a couple showers and thunder showers down in Appleton City, Rich Hill. These are not severe. The main severe we're going to be looking at is going to be associated with this line of storms right here. So they did go ahead and put out a special weather statement for that cell we were watching. And that is going to be for wind gusts of 40 and half-inch hail. So about penny-sized hail. We'll see if it will continue and strengthen. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to go grab a cup of coffee. I'm still in my work shirt today. I didn't even bother putting on one of my Subby's Weather Talk t-shirts tonight. Woke up from a nap and jumped on the computer, so... All right. Well, I guess the good news is the fact that they're not really expecting any organized severe weather here in West Central Missouri, or else they would have definitely put out a severe thunderstorm watch for our area. That's not saying that we will not have any more severe thunderstorm warnings. We'll have some strong storms come through, but as far as large-scale organized severe weather, it does not look very likely, at least for our area. So I do believe that is good news for our area, but we are still going to continue to monitor these storms. As you can see, there is a severe thunderstorm warning out for very strong winds over here on the Kansas side, and there are no watches that are currently active in our area on the Kansas or Missouri side. So we can still get some strong storms. So don't let your guard down completely. But as far as organized severe weather, it's looking less and less likely as we continue through the 1 o'clock hour. So that is good news. Golf ball size hail in Peculiar south of KCMO. Golf ball, yeah. And I tell you what, Tammy, actually we had, so the National Weather Service has picture and a storm report of let's see, when was that? 2-inch hail, which is that's about golf ball size. In Peculiar that covered the ground, and that was at 12:39. So, and then another report just about 10 minutes ago in Cass County, associated with this special weather statement ongoing right now, 1.5-inch hail. So yeah, it's you know. They're pretty robust little guys out there. Yeah, Deb, I was so that was something that that is something that I had mentioned earlier, and I'm also in contact with them at Bartle. We're watching out for the boys down there, so. Matter of fact, I've got a couple of leaders that are actually watching the stream right now. So, we'll definitely keep an eye on them down there. These storms are going to gradually work their way down to St. Clair County and H.O. Bartle. So, we're definitely keeping an eye on those cells for them. We'll still have to watch the storm tomorrow night, Tammy. Looks like sometime after 9 o'clock tomorrow night we'll be watching for a resurgence of thunderstorms, this time coming from the south. So coming from the southwest, moving north, where these cells are coming from the northwest, moving southeast. The storms tomorrow night will be coming up from the south as that front lifts to the north as a warm front and create some thunderstorms here in west central Missouri. Now, the severity right now doesn't look all that impressive, but with the way this storm's been acting over the last 48 hours, I can't rule out the potential of seeing any severe weather tomorrow night. But we'll have to check on the status of that tomorrow afternoon. And I do believe that we had since we did our earlier update earlier tonight, they're already expanding the slight risk and enhanced risk for tomorrow, and a marginal risk all through all of west central Missouri for tomorrow night. Tornado threat, if not zero, it's very low for tomorrow night. 2% chance for parts of west central Missouri, just about all of southwest Missouri, including Springfield. A very low risk, but it's not zero. But there's a better chance for wind and for hail with those storms tomorrow night. So not a big player so far, but I would not be surprised if that yellow area, the slight risk, moves a little bit further closer to west central Missouri. Tomorrow night, right now, according to the latest models, is about 9 o'clock. You got that right, Tammy. After dark. Heck, after dark. How about this early morning stuff? It's 1:17 a.m. Drinking coffee now. I'll be drinking 2 pots of coffee when I get to work tomorrow a.m. And then catch a quick cat nap and maybe have to do it again tomorrow night. So, busy, busy, busy. That's how I like it. 12:25. That was about 30 minutes ago. Ping pong ball size hail southeast of Stillwell, Kansas. So, but that was about 35 minutes ago. Very strong winds starting to pick up down here. That's going to be going through Yates Center, Iola, Kansas, Moran, and Humboldt. Very strong winds over here. And a little bit of rotation down here by Neosho Falls. You kind of see where that red and green kind of come together. So a little bit of rotation, very strong winds out in that area. And again, if you're over in Benton County, there are a couple cells over there. One coming right over Coal Camp. Another one that is just south and southwest of Stover. These are not severe. These are they're loud little burgers, but they are not severe. We're watching these cells along the leading edge here for any strong straight line winds and maybe some small hail. There's another cell down here near El Dorado Springs and just north in parts of Bates County, non-severe. And then, of course, we're starting to get that leading edge coming into Harrisonville, Archie, Adrian, Passaic, Butler along Interstate 49. Amsterdam, very, very, very strong. Very, very heavy rains. Heavy rains in this area. You guys are getting a gully washer right now with another one trailing right behind it. So lots of thunder in Warrensburg. It's pretty good little thunderstorm going on up there in Warrensburg. Well, right now, these things are just being a nuisance. They're being loud, but so far, no severe weather here in West Central Missouri at the current time. I do, Tammy. And I'll be planning on doing another one in the spring. I actually did 2 this year. The first one, both of them were at the Benson Center here in Clinton. I did a severe storm seminar in March. We talked about radar, different modes of radar, what clouds to look for. We did a lot of question and answer periods. So yeah, that was great, and we gave away free weather radios during the seminar that I worked up a grant for through the emergency management of Henry County. So that was great. And then we actually had a storm spotter class where I had a couple of meteorologists from Pleasant Hill come down and give about an hour presentation to become a storm spotter and what to look for. So definitely be doing that again next spring. It's moving east-northeast right now. That cell in Amsterdam. We'll put that in motion over the last couple minutes. More east. Affecting Harrisonville, Archie, Adrian, Passaic, and Butler. Let's put a little timestamp. Let's see how fast this is chucking along. 45 miles an hour. So this particular cell that we are watching looks like it's going to be at Archie at 124, Adrian 129, Dayton 134, Garden City 137, Harrisonville 139, Ballard 141, Butler 141, Creighton at 143, Spruce at 147, Urick at 148, Germantown 152, Montrose 156, Chehaui 2 a.m., Clinton 206, Deepwater 209, Leeton 211, Calhoun 215, Leesville 222, Windsor 223, and that is going to be for this cell right here that's producing some very heavy rains, and looks like it's beginning to show some signs of some stronger winds out ahead of it. So we'll be watching that. My lightning detector, aka my dog, is likely hearing some of this thunder down here, just down by Appleton City, and just north of Urick. The one to the west moving east. I'm assuming you're probably talking about, Derek, you're talking about the ones that's over here on the Kansas side still. Let me get off of this full screen. You're talking about these over here. Yeah, the cells, it's a little confusing, especially when you put it into play. The individual cells are moving more almost due east, but the line itself is moving to the southeast. So it depends on if the cells moving to the east can catch up with the flow going to the southeast. But we'll put it into motion here real quick. So the individual cells here are moving more to the east, but this entire line is moving to the southeast. This little cluster of cells right here are moving more due east along that line. So, and as it continues to do so, you'll notice that there becomes a little bit more of a favorable line for stronger straight line winds. So that's what we're going to be watching as this storm continues to move off to the east into the rest of Bates County and into Johnson and Henry counties here over the next few minutes. Anybody up in Kansas City? They said that the intersection of Emmanuel, Cleaver, and Troost is now flooded impassable in Kansas City. So this particular line of storms right here is moving off to this direction, and that's where we're seeing some of the strongest winds so far. That's why we have severe thunderstorm warnings out for this line of storms. These particular cells are moving nearly due east. They're moving this direction, and slowly beginning to see a line of stronger winds as it continues to push off to the east and to the south. Hi, Steph. Let's see here. Pettis County. Knob Noster 215, Whiteman 215, Lamont 230, Green Ridge 233, Ionia 248, Sedalia right around 250 a.m. And that is going to be for this particular line. You may get a few little thunder showers out ahead of it, kind of like what we're seeing out here near El Dorado and out here in Benton County. You might get a couple thunder showers, but this is the line you'll be watching. Is going to be this one right here. Still looking good, Tom. You're going to be getting into some it's likely raining, starting to rain at a pretty good clip right now. This line that's stretching down through here is just now starting to show some signs of it beginning to kind of push out with some stronger winds out ahead of it. Still not severe. Really not expecting the way it looks here on radar for really anything severe heading into the Holden area right now. Now this line may continue to kind of shore up, strengthen just a little bit in terms of the outflow winds as it continues its eastward and southerly approach into Henry, St. Clair, Benton counties here over the next hour and a half. No problem, Tom. And again, I pretty much expect most of the rain and thunderstorms to be out of here by about 9 o'clock in the morning, and then have pretty much a dry day for the rest of the day until tomorrow night after 9 o'clock. Really kind of watching that cell down there near Amsterdam. That's what I was looking at over here on my other screen, Derek. If you're still with me, a little bit of circulation right down here, just to the west of Amsterdam. Definitely something to kind of note right now, as we're starting to get some stronger outflow winds. We have southeast winds coming, feeding up to the storm. These are the type of little scenarios that we watch for brief spin-ups. So if you're watching this still, Derek, make sure you keep a close eye over here. And like I said, it's not severe warned. We're not under any kind of watch, but there's definitely some rotation there with this particular cell. My lightning indicator is going off in the other room. So look down at a little bit lower. Still seeing some rotation associated just to the west of Amsterdam. Right here as well. I'm going through a few of these radars, guys, and we won't quite get into exactly what they all do. But basically, high resolution velocity shows us winds going to and away from radar, and then that's from an angle that the radar beam is hitting that area. Now, the further away from the radar, the higher up it's gonna get up into the atmosphere, because the Earth is round. So the further away it goes, the higher up it is. Well, I can look at base velocity, gives us a look a little bit closer to the ground level, and still showing some interesting rotation down here near Amsterdam. So definitely keeping an eye on this particular cell here. Nonetheless, some very torrential rain moving in across the state line near Amsterdam. This little cell down here in St. Clair County, that little guy got a little bit of a hell core to it. It's mainly rural. Just to the west of Lucas Springs and southwest of Johnson City. Looks like that's right along Northwest State Highway H and along State Highway B. A little bit of a hill core right there. See, I wonder if that ain't moving. Yeah, that's moving to the east. So down around the 8th Bartle Scout Reservation. So you're going to be impacted with a pretty robust little renegade storm out ahead of this line here in the next about 10 minutes. So watching from down there at Fort Scott, we did have a couple of viewers earlier that was with us. If you are still watching, down here at Fort Scott has been placed under a severe thunderstorm warning, and that's going to be for the strong straight line winds from Pleasanton, Mound City, all the way down to La Harpe and Iola. This leading edge of strong straight line winds to 60 miles per hour are possible. So if you're still watching down there in Fort Scott, you're going to have a pretty intense line of storms moving your way. It does, Christina. And of course, I've got a lot of things going on here at the house, but my dog, aka Lightning Detector, is hearing quite a bit of thunder even here in Clinton. So about another 8 minutes left for this special weather statement up here. I don't see really too much left of this cell up here in Lee Summit, Pleasant Hill, Belton area. It's pretty much moved off to the east now. So, and notice this little line of storms is continually to show a little bit more impressive, stronger straight line winds. We are also seeing some straight line winds down here in Pleasanton up to Butler. So these winds are starting to get a little stronger as this thing begins to kind of pick up speed. Right over here in Amsterdam, where we've been kind of watching for, there's several little areas of rotation. And, you know, nothing concerning right now, but what we were just talking about here near Amsterdam just a few minutes ago, now there is a TVS, which means that it's spinning enough at the mid-levels for a tornado signature near that storm in Amsterdam that we were looking at. So, strictly radar-based. But it is spinning. It's spinning like a top along this leading edge of this line. So definitely something we're keeping a close eye on. And of course down here in St. Clair County we have a cell in between Appleton City and El Dorado Springs moving to the east. It's going to affect Larry City, Osceola, and H. Row Bartle Scout Reservation in Icodium. Right now just some torrential rains. It was producing a little bit of hail a little bit ago. Looked like it's not anymore, but that's going to be a pretty strong storm out ahead of this line. Looked like Warrensburg, Holden, Garden City, Creighton, Adrian is getting hit with these with this torrential rainfall, and maybe even up to about 45, 50 mile an hour winds out ahead of it. Weather rock. About 30, 35 mile an hour winds associated with the leading edge of this thunderstorms that's coming across Johnson, soon to be Henry, Bates County. So still under the severe threshold. Remember, in order for it to be severe labeled, has to be winds in excess of 58 miles per hour, in which we do not have obviously right now, but this line of storms is producing some very gusty winds. Take a look at this right here. Let's zoom in here just a little bit. Just west of Creighton, we're getting up to about 45 mile an hour winds coming across 7 Highway just west of Creighton, Missouri. So Tammy, you're going to have some pretty gusty winds coming through Creighton here in just a few moments, okay? They come out with a new outlook. So pretty much National Weather Service is talking about very unlikely probability of issuing a watch for West Central Missouri and Southwest Missouri, but there could be some isolated damaging wind gusts here and there as it moves to the southeast. So It does not look like we're going to have much of the way of severe storms this evening or this morning, which is good news. But this line is definitely beginning to show some signs of strengthening as far as wind gusts out ahead of it. They're going to be mainly outflow dominant storms. The stronger winds down here around the Fort Scott, the southern branch of this line of storms. And notice here over the last, let's go to the last 30 frames. And we'll let this load up, and you see that those broken line of storms that we were tracking earlier tonight are, let me jump back over to, there we go. Kind of more congealing into a intense line of storms stretching from Leavenworth all the way down into southeast Kansas. So all right, so down to H. Row Bartle. You have this one cell that's stretching from just west of Larry City, Osceola, down to Collins, moving east, and it's going to be affecting H. Row Bartle here at Iconium in about probably about 15 minutes. And then, of course, we're watching this line of storms from Holden down through Creighton, down through Passaic, Butler, and Rich Hill for the potential of some strong straight line winds out ahead of this line. Christina, my grandparents had they lived down in a little town called Lakeview Heights, which is kind of south and east of Lincoln, and a really rural area. They lived down in the sticks, and they had a couple of weather rocks dangling on a rope on their front porch. So we used to always talk about the weather rock down there. Yeah, Steph, some of that lightning and thunder you're hearing, some of these storms out here out ahead of this line. But if there's any chance of any kind of stronger winds, is going to be right along the leading edge of this line right here, stretching from Odessa down to Warrensburg, Creighton, and on over to Fort Scott, Kansas. Bring up velocity radar so we kind of keep tabs on those winds. Now they continue to strengthen up down there. Those stronger winds should be coming through Creighton just about any time. Tammy, if you're still on, I don't know if you can tell how strong the winds are there, but it looked like around 40, 45 mile an hour wind gusts. You must have got those straight line winds there, Tammy. Yeah, pretty gusty. Wind speed in the Butler area. Just south of Butler, they've got up to into the 50s, but right around Butler proper, anywhere between 30 to 45 mile an hour. What I see down around the Butler area. Now, some of that might not be actually making the surface. Remember, as that radar is going to be picking up the data from just above the surface. So, not all of that is going to be transitioning down to the ground level, but probably 35, 40 mile an hour winds near Butler with some stronger gusts. So we still have a pretty broad swath of 35 to, we'll call it 35 to 50 mile an hour winds from Blairstown down through Creighton, getting ready to come through the town of Urick. And of course, that's going to continue to stretch all the way down through Butler, Pleasanton, Mound City, Fort Scott. Hi, Brian. When's the heavy winds going to hit the Osceola area? Hi, Roberta. Osceola area. Let's see how fast it's moving. About 49, 54, 36. Outland City 215, Montrose 217, Taborville 230, Brownington 238, El Dorado 241, Osceola at around 246. So that's for these the leading edge of the stronger winds. 35 to, we're going to call it 35 to 50 mile an hour winds along the leading edge here. Now there is going to be a thunderstorm that's going to be affecting Osceola here in the next few minutes. Now this is not severe, but it is producing some strong winds. Little pocket of really strong winds there just to the east of Passaic. I do believe that that is State Route D. That will take you over to Spruce and on the backside of Ballard. Could be looking at 50 to 55 mile an hour winds along State Route D. And again, that's just to the east of Passaic. So that line of the stronger storms looked like it just came through Uric with some strong straight line winds of probably between the 35 to 45 mile an hour range, maybe some small hail too, and picking up a couple little areas of maybe some small pea-sized hail along with that. Of course, again, if you have kids down H.O. Bartle Scout Reservation, there's a pretty robust storm from Larry City to Osceola down to Collins, moving to the east. It's going to be affecting H.O. Bartle Scout Reservation. It's not severe, but there's quite a bit of lightning associated with it. It's going to be loud, torrential rains, and that's going to be out ahead of this line of storms that may have some strong straight line winds. Looks like south of Rich Hill, just north of Nevada, we have another little hail core right there. Probably dropping some pea-sized hail as well. So definitely starting to see some signs of this line really kind of bowing, creating some 45, 50 mile an hour wind gusts out ahead of it. It'll blow around some lawn furniture, but nothing severe as of right now. Yeah, Butler's getting some pretty good winds right now, Terry. I'm going to get a hold of a scout leader. Produce 35 to all right. one of the scout leaders wanted to make sure that they're in the know of this line of storms. Make sure that they shut all the cooler. Don't want to ruin any food or snacks down there for the kids at Bartle. Looks like just probably about another 15 minutes or so before it moves into Bartle. My weather station is starting to ping with lightning alerts everywhere around Clinton right now. So it's still along D Highway, just north of D. Likely going to be getting close to Johnstown. Here's Ballard right here. And there's a pocket of some pretty strong winds, maybe up to 50, 55 miles per hour. Down here just south of State Route D. And then of course we have 35 to 40 mile an hour winds. Actually some stronger on this latest update. Looks like we're now hitting right around the 50 to 55 mile an hour winds. Let's see exactly where those winds are at. Petersburg, Honeydale, Garland, and then eventually on over to Shawnee Mound, Quarles, just north of Clinton. So some 50 mile an hour wind gusts can be is right now going on right here where you see these bright yellows here on the right side map. Hey Travis, morning. So tomorrow night, with the latest models, tomorrow night looks like yet another, we could be looking at another long night. Still showing some isolated thunderstorms around the 6-7 o'clock time frame tomorrow night. And then it really starts to get its act together right around midnight tomorrow night. And then we'll have another big line of storms that will push through throughout the night. till 6 a.m. So possibility of another long night tomorrow night. I'm not 100% sure what the severe risks are going to be outside of just maybe a strong straight line wind. Right now, we're just in a marginal risk tomorrow night. I would not be surprised if it maybe enhanced just a little bit, but here in Clinton, I just got a wind gust of 21 miles per hour, and my dog, aka lightning detector, as you can hear in the background, is doing a great job keeping me informed of thunder here at the house. Yeah, actually, it's we may get some wind gusts, maybe up to around 50 miles per hour. It's not looking like any kind of hail right now. It's mainly just going to be maybe a strong wind gust and some torrential rainfall when this line comes through. And then on the back side, we can see some wind 20, 30 mile an hour behind the line. And then really just some routine showers and thunder showers behind it. But this line continues to strengthen a little bit as far as the wind speeds ahead of this line as it continues to kind of bow out and push out those outflow winds out ahead of the storm. 55 to 60. And again, not all of these winds are moving, are reaching the surface. But look like coming right over Huntingdale. You're going to get some a pretty strong wind gust when this comes through. Huntingdale, Garland, just maybe south of Hartwell. Well, you can probably look out the window right now, Jordan. Look off to your northwest, and you'll see it. It's on our doorstep. Hey, Allie, Hartwell area. Yep, we just talked about that. Probably some pretty good winds going on right now in Hartwell. You're getting some torrential rains right now, but just some strong straight line wind gusts, maybe 30 to 40 mile an hour at Hartwell. Yeah, you're on the back side of that now. In Creighton. So 8-row Bartle is now beginning to get in with some of the torrential rains with this one little cell. Just prepare for some gusty winds to 45. Okay, so the strongest, really the strongest part of this line is really beginning to take shape from here down to here in Henry County. Out ahead of this are going to be some winds up to about 50 miles per hour during the onset when this line comes through. So this area right here, the yellows, those are when you start getting up to about the 50 mile per hour wind speeds. So as this continues to update, the more yellows you see, obviously the more enhanced that the winds are going to be as this line continues. So, and again, the strongest winds right now looks to be just past Huntingdale, just to the west of Corals, down to Garland, Livingston, and actually getting ready to come through the town of Clinton with some of these stronger wind gusts. And again, the highest I've had right now looks like 22 here on my weather station. So I'd say I'm going to pick up a little stronger gusts here momentarily. Okay, bye, Tammy. So Fort Scott, they're getting hit pretty good down here. And Fort Scott just coming through there. So definitely some strong winds and some torrential rains coming through Fort Scott right now. Rich Hill up to Spruce, getting ready to come into Appleton City and Montrose. Some stronger winds coming into Clinton, and then eventually Calhoun up to Bowen. We have a member up here in Bowen. We want to make sure that we mention that. Layton, you're getting a downpour right now. Yeah, that's going to be in Warsaw. That's what's, Danielle, that's what's going to be, you're kind of feeling some of the effects of some of these little isolated showers and thunder showers out ahead of this line. Atro, Bartle, Scott Reservation, St. Clair County. There are a few lightning bolts down there. Just some torrential rainfall is coming down. And this isn't even the main line coming through there. So, another little cell over Larry City. So they're going to get that rainfall, and then we're going to see the big line of storms come through. So likely to have some rising water up around Scott Reservation. So, looked like just had a wind gust of 34 miles per hour here in Clinton as this line of storms is getting ready to come through the town of Clinton. The strongest winds right now look like they are just north of Clinton, south of Corals, heading over to Lewis, and then eventually over toward the Calhoun area. There's a good wind gust. 39. 39 miles per hour here at the weather station. Clinton's starting to get in some pretty good rainfall. Looks like a little bit of hail, maybe just near Harper, just south of the H.O. Bartle Reservation. So that's been a pretty strong little cell. And again, that's out ahead of this line of storms that is pushing through our area right now. No, Austin, I think the risk of any tornadoes really is very low with this particular line of storms. So I don't think you have to worry. We have to worry about tornadoes. Maybe just some gusty winds. Maybe up to 45 miles per hour. But right now, they're all behaving themselves. Did have a wind gust here in Clinton, here at the weather station at 39 miles per hour. So that's enough. That's enough to move around some stuff on the porch. But right now, we have maybe some 40, 45 mile an hour winds that will be heading into Calhoun, Lewis, and right along 52 highway here in between Lewis and Calhoun is really about the strongest winds we have here along this leading edge. And we got a storm cell down here by H.O. Bartle Scout Reservation, down at Scout Camp. Maybe some small hail, torrential rains, but these are out ahead of this line. So expect them to get a fair amount of rainfall down here in St. Clair County because of these cells that's really been hanging out there for about the last 45 minutes. Tired of the sirens. Yeah, no twisters tonight, Candy. I hear the rain. Man, it's whooping up out there right now here in Clinton. These two cells will likely merge into one and kind of